Hi everyone, welcome to this week's astrology and pick your element for your zodiac sign reading. This is for the week ahead, 29th of June through to the 5th of July. So just like last week, I'm going to do the elements. So the first pile is for the fire sign. So if you are a mental blank already. Wow, straight out the gate I've got a mental blank. That's not a good sign. I've been really busy, so my mind's a bit when you're doing psychic work and you go back to your logical mind and back and forth, that's where it gets a bit crazy. But anyway, start again. Fire signs. So Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries, that's your pile, number 1. And number 2 is for the air signs, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. The earth signs is next, number 3, so Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, and the last pile is the water, so that's for Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Okay, so as always, I'm going to talk about the astrology. So a big week this week. We have Mars going to Aries. Yay! That is such good news because I am just so happy that Mars is out of Pisces. I really don't enjoy Mars in Pisces. A lot of people don't. Mars in Aries is a lot better because it's in its home sign. So Mars rules the sign of Aries, co-rules Scorpio. So good energy, and I'm a Scorpio rising, and I have Mars in a fire sign, so it's going to be very helpful for me. I'm already feeling a bit of a buzz in the air. And if you've got strong fire energy like Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius, you probably notice today, Monday, or if you're in the US, Sunday, a bit of a lift in the energy, especially today. I feel like I can really feel it today. And yeah, so if you've got Mars, Venus in Aries, or Leo or Sagittarius, you'll be feeling this. Or if you have those as your sun sign, moon or rising sign, those fire signs I mentioned, you're going to feel that energy. It's, I'd say, generally speaking, more of a flow of positive energy for the Sagittarians and the Leos. For Aries, it's still positive. It's going to charge you up a bit, but it can sometimes for Aries, with Mars in your sign, also tip into some anger or frustration or irritation and sort of impatience. So just be aware of that if you've got strong Aries energy. So, but that's overall very good news. And it's interesting because Mars is going to be in Aries all the way through to September this year, which is unusual because usually it doesn't last that long in a sign, but it's going to go through its retrograde motion. I touched on this last week. So Mars is going to retrograde in September, but Mars will stay in Aries actually until just the whole rest of this year. So Mars will be in Aries for the rest of this year. I think that's good. I think that's really good. The only thing is we are going to go through a retrograde Mars cycle coming up, and that's in September. So with that, you may feel a bit of a shift in terms of the energy kind of slowing down again, or things kind of backtracking, or having to sort of take some steps back or slow down some of the momentum that you will start putting in place in your life, especially if you've got fire energy in your chart that's strong. As I said, if you've got Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius, it's time to move forward now with new projects, ambition, drive. It gives you a lot of energy and excitement energy. But as I said, when it goes retrograde in September, there may be a bit of a pullback or a bit of a sort of a bit more of a feeling of maybe some tiredness creeping in from all the activity. But we are in like a massive sort of retrograde phase at the moment with quite a number of planets retrograde, and even Neptune joined in the retrogrades from last week, I think it was. So the only thing that at the moment, which is really good news with the planets, is, well, not the only thing, but there's a couple of good things. Obviously the Mars in Aries, which I just mentioned, but also Venus direct. So I mentioned that last week. Venus went direct last week. Great for anyone with Gemini, because Venus is in Gemini. Anyone that's ruled by Venus, Libra or Taurus, this is wonderful news for your signs, or if you have Venus in the first house or very strong Venus aspects in your chart. So the other stuff going on is Mars sextile Saturn this week. So again, there's this feeling of Saturn relates to work, and Mars is ambition and forward movement in Aries. Just let's move ahead with these plans. Let's get things happening. Saturn is retrograde though, so we might be finding that we're having forward momentum with something potentially for some people from the past because of that Saturn retrograde. So, maybe people that, you know, in work-related situations, previous bosses, previous contacts, people that you heard from previously, people that you know about, or things that you've known about before, kind of surfacing now to move forward with. For some people, not for everybody. The Mercury retrograde continues through to July 12th, so, you know, we're in that at the moment, and I've so been seeing issues with technology. Oh, very frustrating, but you get that with the Mercury retrograde. And it is in the sign of Cancer with the Mercury retrograde. So for some people, you're going to be hearing from people from the past, or past family issues coming up, thinking about family, the past, or soul connections, people that you have a strong soul bond with. Thoughts about where do I belong, home, family, and kind of revisiting some issues to do with that. Also, on July 2nd, so later this week, Saturn retrogrades back into Capricorn. So like right now, Saturn's still on that 0 degree of Aquarius, but on the 2nd this week, it's going to retrograde back into Capricorn. So if you're born late in Capricorn, so if you know your chart, 28, 29 degrees, or, you know, even earlier than that, Saturn's going back into those later degrees of Capricorn. So if you're late cardinal, as in late Cancer, Aries, or what's the other sign? Gosh, mental blank. Aries. Oh yeah, Libra. Aries, Libra, or Capricorn, Cancer. If you've got late degrees of those, you're going to feel that some tension there with people in authority, restrictive energy, hard work energy, and some tension with Saturn retrograde back in late cardinal from July 2nd. Anything else? Oh yeah, and Wednesday, Thursday this week, the Sun in Cancer conjuncts with Mercury in Cancer while Mercury's retrograde. That is very interesting, and I would say for a lot of people, very likely to bump into someone from the past, hear from someone from the past, whether it's, you know, text message, phone call, bump into someone, could be any of the above. Something about could be for some people family members, or hearing from family members from the past in some manner. Could be even spiritually, could be connecting, you know, with through a dream, dreaming of a family member that's passed. It could be that, or actually hearing from them, from somebody that you know. So there's many ways it can manifest, is what I'm trying to say. I'm going to go ahead with the cards now for the elements, and I'll just say, if you'd like to book a personal reading, go to the link below to my online store. If you are in Sydney, I am back doing face-to-face readings that I've done all of 2019, but it just kind of slowed down with COVID, obviously. But I am back doing the face-to-face readings in Sydney, so if you are in Sydney and would like to book, you can contact me through my website, and, you know, work out a time. I do half-an-hour readings or 1 hour readings at a shop in Sydney. So, the cards. Right, so the first lot is the fire signs. Alright, so, ooh, fire energy for the fire signs. 6 of Wands. You guys have 6 of Wands. That's a great card. Ace of Wands. As soon as Mars goes in Aries, look at that for the fire signs. Ooh, and very fiery energy. Interesting. Jupiter, which rules the fire sign, Sagittarius. That's your ruling planet. If you're a Sagittarius and watching this, there's a special whenever Mercury is retrograde, I swear, my words just get jumbled all over the shop. Okay. Trying to say that if you're a Sagittarius, Jupiter rules your sign. This is a special message for you. And 7 is a very spiritual number here. I feel like there might be someone watching that is born like on the 7th, or like the 7th of a month. So something like that. That really stands out to me, that 7. So great energy for the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sag. There's a lot of energy in your life at the moment, and this week there's some good news or forward movement, something exciting happening around you. You could have an opportunity come forward. You could be given a new opportunity, a new beginning with the Ace of Wands. The 6 of Wands is success. So with Jupiter there, you're very blessed this week, fire signs, I have to say. Obviously, you know, there's a lot of people watching, and, you know, obviously it's not a personal reading, but in a general sense, to get so much fiery energy, I'd say this is extremely positive for the fire signs for this week, and it's great to see. So new projects happening and success around new projects for you guys. So that's wonderful. Sorry, I'm just checking that my phone's on silent. I do get a little bit scatterbrained when Mercury is retrograde, and I think it's because I have Mercury retro in my natal chart. So if I seem a bit scatterbrained today, that is why. Plus, I've just been out this morning doing face-to-face reading and sort of rushed home to sort of get ready to do this. And yeah, it's kind of a bit hectic at the moment. But I absolutely love this reading for you guys. Ace of Wands, new beginning with something passionate. Jupiter is blessing you with abundance and opportunities. And, you know, Jupiter is about growth and expansion in your life. So I want to say for the fire signs, whatever is happening this week, very concise message. You guys have an opportunity this week of some kind. You have an offer this week of some kind. You have something coming in that is very positive, and it's going to lead to something where there's growth and expansion in your life. Now, if you don't have something super positive happen this week, it is something to do with your feeling, your attitude. You feel full of energy and much more vitality than you may have been feeling recently, and it is going to help you to be successful in some kind of undertaking this week. If you have something that you need to do this week that's important, you have the card of success, the Six of Wands. So wow. And the Ace of Wands is also talking about new beginnings. I love that for you guys. Okay, next is air signs. Taurus, I have. So it's talking about your money and your possessions. More fire energy, the Five of Wands and the Three of Cups. Okay, for the air signs, there's a little bit of conflicting energy here with the Five of Wands and the Three of Cups. Let me just see. Interesting, this one's 14, which adds to a 5, so we have 2 5s here. For the air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, there's a little bit of tension this week, and there's something about possibly the end of the week, celebration, coming together with friends, reconnecting. Can even be reconciliation sometimes with the Three of Cups if you've had an issue with someone in the past. But the Five of Wands shows that there is, this week, there's a little bit of tension about, and there's something to do with your finances coming up here, and looking at what you own in terms of, you know, your money, your security, your stability, your material items, material belongings. I want to say with this, be careful if you're, you know, with your material objects, with your, you know, like with your wallet, or with your, especially with Mercury retrograde this week. And the Five of Wands can be like some kind of conflicting energy that sort of causes a little bit of, what's the word? It's not quite upheaval. It's kind of disjointed energy, or distraction leading to mistakes in some sense, is what I'm picking up on actually from these two together. But I see it working out anyway, so whatever happens this week, there might be some confusion, but it's going to work out okay. The Five of Wands can, you know, be not being on the same page as other people as well, so you might actually, for some people, you're dealing with some other people with that Three of Cups this week, and it's like you're not quite on the same page as each other. There's kind of this conflict of interest. And Taurus is about, you know, many other things other than finances. It's about Venus. You know, Venus rules Taurus. So this could be an issue for you in your relationship, that you're not on the same page as somebody else. It could be in your workplace, because Taurus is, you know, Venus relates to finances. It could be that there's a bit of a sense of harmony being a little bit off this week for the air signs. So but I do like the Three of Cups at the end of the week. If I just look at that, I feel like by the end of the week, things are smoothing themselves out a little bit more. So just be aware of a little bit of tension. Keep an eye on your material possessions this week, and be aware that there is some natural tension in the air for you guys, and you might need to kind of work on maintaining inner harmony and balance. And you know, with Taurus, Taurians generally are quite stoic, and in the face of drama, they tend to sort of not react too much. So it might be a message for you about, you know, maintaining harmony and not reacting too much to any dramas going on around you, air signs. Okay, that was all for the air signs. Let's go to the earth signs. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Ooh, 10 of Cups and 3 of Pentacles. I like that. That's really nice. Solar eclipse, revolution. Did I forget to mention the eclipse this week? Oh gosh, can't believe that. I'm going to make a note at the bottom of the video. There is an eclipse coming up in Capricorn. I need to check the date on that, and I'll mention it. I'll put it in text below. Alright, so it's interesting a solar eclipse is mentioned though, because we are in eclipse season anyway, so we've got one more eclipse in Capricorn, and then that's it. We've had 2 recently. So 10 of Cups is a beautiful card. It's about emotional fulfillment for the earth sign. So, and it's to do with your purpose. It's to do with what you're pursuing at the moment. 3 of Pentacles is about collaboration. It's about working with others, you know, coming together with others for a common goal, to work on something together. I'm getting the word healing here, so there can be emotional healing in regards to a difficult situation for the earth signs. The solar eclipse energy talks about, it mentions revolution. It's a 44, which adds to an 8, which is definitely about transformation. So you may be going through something, earth signs, this week that is related to other people's energy, family, you know, people close to you, even love, you know, love relationships can be. Or it can be related to your ambitions and feeling a sense of fulfillment in your ambitions this week. The Ten of Cups is a really wonderful card. It's a very much a standout card. So when you have this card, you know there is something good coming in for you guys this week, for the earth signs. Could be work related, could be some fulfilling opportunity related to work or career. It could be to do with something that you're working on, a project, or working with others. And there is this destined energy around this with the solar eclipse card. Alright, and the last lot is for the water signs. Earth element stability. Okay, the Two of Swords and the Two of Cups. Wow. 2 sets of 2s. That's interesting. And what's interesting here is 8 and 3 is 11, which breaks down to a 2 in numerology. So we have 2, 2, 2, really. That's kind of intense. Alright, so for the water signs, something going on with your relationships this week. Definitely, you know, soul connection, one-on-one connections, love, romance, significant partnership relationship, or other person that you have a connection with. The Two of Swords shows some kind of still some indecision in the air. It's interesting because Venus is still in Gemini, which is very much a dual sign, and can still be kind of emphasizing with Venus in Gemini still that duality in relationships. But what I'm getting here is have that stability within yourself this week, working on your inner stability. Other people around you may be unsure or maybe in two minds about something that's significant or impacting you. But this is saying work on what you know works for you. So earth element being, you know, your work, your routine, focusing on all things related to your stability this week rather than, you know, some troubling energy here. It may not be that negative. It could just be that there's an indecisive energy or a difficult energy around relationships, or a decision around a relationship for some people. Again, as I say, these are general readings, so it's not going to be for everyone. But I do feel like I want to say being in two minds about something relationship related, or in two minds about a decision around a relationship or a direction in a relationship. And I feel like this is very much like an advice card. It's saying focus on where you, this week, if you are uncertain about something, or if you're experiencing indecision around an emotional matter, perhaps, try to focus more on what you know is stable this week, and that will actually help you to sort of let go a little bit. And just sometimes we do need to let go and let things work themselves out a little bit rather than trying to assert some kind of mental control over things. Because with the Two of Swords, it sort of says this week you can't make a decision about something even though you may want to. Okay, so things are still a little bit up in the air for the water signs this week. So that was a reading, you guys. As I said, if you'd like a personal reading, go to the link below. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Have a great week. Bye.